Welcome to the new year and more great adventures with Explore Tulsa. We start the show with a look back in time.
Then we meet a leader on the court.
Followed by big plays on the field.
Plus a new place for Flavor Revealed.
Hi, I'm Stevie Fernandez.
And I'm Trish Whitmer. Thanks for starting 2014 by joining us for this week's Explore Tulsa.
You know, Trish, I always feel that it's a good idea to look back into history to make the best steps towards looking into the future.
Good idea, Stevie. And with that in mind, we should check in with John Erling for a trip down memory lane with one of his interviews from Voices of Oklahoma.
Voices of Oklahoma is such a great educational site with so much to learn about the people that made Tulsa history and all of Oklahoma.
Today, John tells us about the time he spent with one of the founders of the Williams Company, John Williams.
John Williams was a major figure in this town. He could have a brusque way about him. He was a natural-born leader. And so when I came there, I was fearful of it. I really was. But when I got into it and I started the interview, I mean, he couldn't have been nicer and sweeter to me. But a lot of people don't know he had a great World War II military record. And he was attached to the 5th Battalion, the Marines, and he landed on Iwo Jima, February of 1945. It was just very, very, very cold. And when they made that landing, they were being fired upon by the Japanese. And he talks about what that was like.
The first couple of nights there, it was sort of Russian roulette as they went up and down the beach landing mortars as to whether you were going to get hit or not. It turned out it wasn't my turn, but I must say there were a lot of people being killed and wounded.
And near you, too, I would imagine.
Right closer than you and I are. Yes, I did see the flag go up on Mount Suribachi. We were the closest troops to the mountain.
So was there cheering?
Yes, absolutely. There was cheering.
Now, let me remind you that John Williams was only 31 years old when he co-founded the Williams Companies, and he led the way to purchase the Great Lakes Pipeline Company. He laid the foundation for the Williams Companies with that transaction. It's a great story, and he tells it, of course, in voicesofoklahoma.com. Houston was going to be their headquarters, but they chose Tulsa. And then through urban renewal downtown and through land that they acquired, they then closed off Boston. That effort was led by our former mayor, Bob LaFortune. And then John tells how the building that they built came to be a 50-story building. It's a great story.
Our original plan was to build 2 buildings, one on each side of Boston Avenue, about second of where the present building is located, but let Boston Avenue continue through there. And we hired Minoru Yamasaki as our architect. And as you know, he was the one that did the World Trade Center. He was going along with this idea of the 2 buildings. And like all architects, they prepare a model, and it's really something you put on the table and look at and move things around. That's when I got looking there with these 2 buildings with Boston Avenue run through there. I said, why do we want 2 buildings? I picked up one of the buildings and put it in the middle of Boston Avenue and put the other one on top of it. Yama's eyes lit up and he said, well, Mr. Williams, if you put those together, you get the same number of usable square feet with 52 stories. And I say that's even better.
So in an instant, the idea for Oklahoma's tallest buildings actually took shape, and now known as the Bank of Oklahoma Tower. But John told me so many, many great stories. And here's a story I really want you to hear. It's a really cute story, how John leaves his office and he's actually stopped for jaywalking.
I was walking from our building, going over to the Tulsa Club, walking across the green. I got on the west side of Boston, the southwest corner of 3rd and Boston. There was a policeman there. And he stopped me. He said, you were jaywalking. I said, well, sir, I guess I was. I did walk across the light, but I looked all 3 ways. There were no cars anywhere. He said, well, the law says you can't walk against a red light. You were jaywalking. Show me your license. I said, I'm not going to show you my license. I wasn't driving. I was walking. He said, now, don't give me any more of your lip, bud. Show me the license. I'll cuff you. So I said, yes, sir. I pulled out my license, showed it to him. He took it in his hand, and he looked at the license. He looked up at me, and then he looked over my shoulder at the building and looked at the license, looked at me, looked over my shoulder. He said, is that your building? I said, yes, sir. He said, don't do it again.
One thing interesting about John Williams is he had the opportunity to live in Cuba at a very young age because his father worked there. And so John was educated in the schools there, and he spoke fluent Spanish.
Para mí ha sido un gran placer tener esta oportunidad de pasar estas 2 horas hablando con todas mis experiencias en mi vida de los últimos 91 años. Vamos a ver qué pasa el próximo año.
That's great. And can you tell me what that meant?
It's been a great pleasure for me to spend these last 2 hours with you and telling about my past experiences, and I hope that I have a few years left.
So I'm happy to tell you that John went back to Cuba and he looked up his old playmates and had a wonderful time going back there. He also, in the interview that I did with him, he talks about being in jail. Can you imagine John Williams in jail? But he's got a great story about that. And then he talks about the Performing Arts Center when he led the drive for the funds for the Performing Arts Center. This is a great man. I got to talk to him face to face, and I enjoyed it very, very much, like I have enjoyed talking to many, many Tulsans and Oklahomans here on Voices of Oklahoma.
I love the way Mr. Williams put the towers on top of each other, and made one huge structure. That's the way I like to eat cake, too.
Oh, the Williams Tower is very impressive, and it was the largest building in Oklahoma until 2011 when the Devon Tower went up in Oklahoma City.
Now you can catch the rest of John Erling's interview with Mr. Williams and several other Oklahoma historical figures by visiting voicesofoklahoma.com.
Then you'll learn all about folks like Betty Boyd, the Queen of Tulsa TV.
Chester Kudrow, the founder of Quick Trip, and so many others.
Our next guest is now making history as he continues a basketball tradition that is on fire at the University of Tulsa.
We go one-on-one with Golden Hurricane head coach Danny Manning when we return with more Explore Tulsa.
Welcome to White House Mansion, where we are ready to make your event extraordinary.
Located near Tulsa Hills, White House Mansion is country living in the city. This unique, historic mansion is the perfect venue for your wedding reception, party, or holiday gathering. We can accommodate up to 500 guests with both indoor and outdoor options and plenty of parking. If you're looking for a charming, special, and flexible location for your big day,
Call us now to make memories that will last for a lifetime.
Hi, Dr. Robert Zellner here. For over 20 years, I've offered affordable, convenient eye care in Tulsa. Right now, you can get 1 pair of glasses or contact lenses starting at just $99, or my 2-pair deal for $129. Hey, and as always, the eye exam's included. Walk-ins are always welcome. Glasses are ready in about an hour. Plus, we have over 2,000 frames to choose from. We're open 7 days a week. Come see why we're voted Tulsa's best. And our drive-thru at 69th and Memorial makes pickup simple and easy. For the best eye care value in Tulsa, Dr. Robert Zellner and Associates.
Hello, and thanks for hanging around for more Explore Tulsa.
What do you think, Trish? You think Coach Manning would be impressed with my jump shot?
You know that Coach is like 6'10", and you're going to need at least a 15-inch vertical leap to even let him know you exist.
Is that a short joke?
Considered as one of the greatest players in Jayhawk history, we all look forward to Coach Manning continuing his winning ways as a Golden Hurricanes head coach.
I've been involved in the game of basketball all my life. My father played professional basketball, so from the day I was born, I've been around the game. I used to go to his practices, I used to go to his games when he played in the ABA and NBA, and it was a wonderful experience looking back on. I was very fortunate to be around such high-level basketball at an early age. One time my father was playing for the New York Nets, which had the legendary Julius Erving, better known as Dr. J. There was a family barbecue, and as the kids we're hanging out or whatever, so when it's time to start serving the food, the kids become the runners, and they hand everybody their meal. And so I had the chance to, the opportunity to give Dr. J his barbecue meal. Growing up, the tallest person is always the center on the team, regardless if you can shoot or dribble or any of that stuff, and I couldn't do it that well anyways, but I always played interior, post position or center, if you will, growing up. And as I got older, I was able to step out on the floor. You know, one thing for me, I had great role models in my neighborhood, older kids and young men that took me under their wing. And when you go to the park or you go to the rec center and play, some of the younger kids will play for the older guys, but the young kids couldn't shoot the ball. You had to pass it to all the older guys. And so that was kind of my role growing up when I played with the older guys. And you know, it really made me a much better player and gave me a chance to see the game from a different way at an early age. And it was something that's very beneficial and helped me throughout my collegiate and professional career. Well, when I played the game, I played for some very talented coaches, demanding coaches, and Larry Brown was one of those coaches. And you know, he helped change my view of the game in terms of how I saw things and looking through the lens of other players and the coaches and what we're trying to accomplish. And then from there, as a professional player, I was not the fastest. I didn't jump the highest, and so I always had to try to find a little advantage when I stepped out there on the court. And for me, it became scouting reports, understanding what the other team was trying to do, understanding the strengths and weaknesses of the players that I'm guarding. And from there, just morphed into coaching. Every summer, when the NBA season was over, we'd go back to Lawrence, Kansas, and I had a chance to coach my kids' teams, whether it was basketball, softball, or baseball. Coaching them in the summers, and just kind of morphed into, I enjoy this, I enjoy sharing, I enjoy teaching. And you know, I got an opportunity when I retired to join Bill Self's staff at Kansas, and it was a no-brainer for me, and you know, it's led me here today, so very thankful. The Olympic team was a great experience. To represent your country, to go out and just be a part of the Olympic ceremonies was just an unreal experience and something that I cherish. Well, I have the title of coach, but I'm not a coach, I'm a teacher. Well, I think in all athletics you can learn life lessons in sport. Learn to work with others, you have to be unselfish, you have to work hard, you have to have great understanding, you have to take pride in what you're doing, you have to take pride in what your group or your organization is doing. And all these things that we talk to our guys about on a daily basis are things that carry over into life.
The three. Tulsa takes the lead with 3.8 left.
Well, I feel very fortunate to be the head coach here. Great history, great tradition, wonderful school. We got some really outstanding students. And you know, to brag on our student athletes, last semester, our student athletes at the University of Tulsa had the highest GPA in Conference USA. And that's something that we're all very proud of.
It's great to have Coach Manning at TU. And hey, Coach, if you ever in the need of having someone, you know, hit that game-winning mid-court hook shot, I'll be ready for you.
If you want to see some great basketball, visit TulsaHurricane.com to visit the next time you can catch TU this season.
As basketball kicks up into high gear, we only thought that it would be fitting to start the new year by saying goodbye to an amazing 2013 high school football season.
And what better way than to provide a top 10 salute to some of the great plays of 2013.
So get ready to cheer for your favorite team when Explore Tulsa continues.
Are you still paying rent or tired of repairing that old home? I'm Mike Harrison with Lifeway Homes, and it's never been easier to own a brand new home. To celebrate the opening of our newest location, take advantage of our drastic reduction of all in-stock double wides. We have payments as low as $395 a month. For the next 10 buyers, I'll throw in a washer and dryer. So stop renting and start owning. Check us out at lifewayhomes.net or on East Admiral Place. Merry Christmas from Lifeway Homes.
If you're a big fan of high school football, you'll be glad you stuck around for more Explore Tulsa.
That's right, Stevie. This year we witnessed the Jinx Trojans go undefeated and claiming the gold ball for the second season in a row.
Which is also the 14th time that they've taken that top spot. But there were lots of great moments this season that we wanted to share with you from the Explore Tulsa Sports Department.
These are the top 10 runs during the 2013 high school football season here in Tulsa, Oklahoma. At number 10, Justin Silman, Union Redskins. Week 4 of the regular season, and the senior tailback takes the handoff from quarterback Mason Farquhar at midfield, sprints through the Owasso defense before being brought down just shy of the end zone. Silman would finish the year with 557 yards on 72 carries and 8 touchdowns. At number 9, Darwin Thompson of the Jinx Trojans. In Week 5, Jinx handed Sapulpa their first loss of the season, thanks in part to Darwin Thompson. First quarter, and the junior back, showing unbelievable footwork, takes the ball 52 yards into the teeth of the Chieftains. Number 8, Devin Thomas of the Broken Arrow Tigers. It was a cold one in Week 8, but that didn't stop the Tigers from handily beating the Edison Eagles. The senior OSU commit became the Broken Arrow all-time rushing leader in 2013, and it's easy to see why here, taking the handoff from quarterback Coleman Key and turning on the juice, streaking up the sideline untouched and into the end zone. Thomas would finish the year with over 1,000 yards on the ground and 6 touchdowns with the Tigers. At number 7, Orlando Johnson of Booker T. Washington. Week 7 saw one of the biggest upsets of the year as Booker T beat Owasso at home. Senior wideout Orlando Johnson got in on the action that night with this unbelievable run. Taking the ball from quarterback Cordell Grundy near midfield, Johnson puts a juke on the defender, picks up a couple of key blocks, and speeds down the sideline to the Owasso 18. At number 6, Kaylin McDavid of Jinx. Midway through the season, Jinx took on Muskogee at home on their way to another state title. Junior back Kaylin McDavid had a huge season in 2013 due to runs just like this one. Midway through the second, McDavid takes a handoff from Cooper Nunley, rambles forward, jukes a defender, and completely changes directions. Muskogee's defense can't recover as he hits pay dirt from 20 yards out for the score. McDavid finished the year with 8 touchdowns and 772 yards on the ground. At number 5, Devin Thomas of Broken Arrow. What more can you say about number 4, Devin Thomas? First game of the season, the Crosstown Showdown. Owasso went to Broken Arrow in what is shaping up to be a huge 6A rivalry. Thomas takes the ball at midfield, runs to his right, and finds nowhere to go. Not a problem, though, as he changes directions, picking up a couple of blocks and sprinting down to the Owasso 12-yard line, picking up 38 yards from scrimmage. Our 4th best run of the season goes to Cameron Booty of Jinx. You can't talk about Jinx in 2013 without mentioning senior running back Cameron Booty. The move-in from Richardson, Texas immediately left his mark on the Trojans, leading his team in rushing in 2013. No other run showcases his talent better than this one in Week 5 against Sapulpa. Late in the game from the Jinx 22, Nunley hands off to Booty, who spins through one tackle, breaks free of another, and finds nothing but daylight. 78 yards on the run for the score. Booty finished the season with over 1,300 yards and 15 touchdowns. Number 3, Akeland Mayfield of Edison. Mayfield, making the transition from quarterback to receiver, had a huge year for the Eagles in 2013. In Week 8 against Broken Arrow, he produced this standout play, taking the pitch from number 11, Marcus Mays, and absolutely freezing the defender on this one to the end zone. 15 yards on the run from the Edison quarterback who led his team in rushing in 2013. At number 2, Camden Cecchini of Cascia Hall. The Cascia Hall Commandos have become the team to beat in 4A in the last several years, boasting an 11-2 record in 2013. Week 9 against Rogers was one of those wins, with running back Camden Cecchini leading the way. 1st and 10 from Cascia's 24, and Cecchini gets a handoff, breaking through the middle, gets caught by a defender but manages to stay on his feet. Nothing but open field as he runs 76 yards into the end zone for the score. Cecchini would finish the year with 765 yards on the ground and 10 touchdowns for the Commandos. And the number 1 run of 2013 comes from Kaylin McDavid of Jinx. In the second round of the playoffs, Jinx takes on Mid-City in a Saturday morning game at Hunter Dwelly Stadium. Backed up against their own end zone, the Trojans hand it off to Kaylin McDavid. He dances around, finds a hole, and speeds downfield, breaking tackles all along the way. Midwest City won't catch him as McDavid sprints 97 yards for the score, the longest run from scrimmage in Jinx Trojan history, and our number 1 run of 2013.
Oh man, after watching that countdown, I can't wait for next season.
We're going to see a lot of changes in 2014 with the redistricting of some of the largest schools like Jinx, Union, Broken Arrow, and Owasso.
Plus, Broken Arrow lost a great coach in Steve Spavital, and it'll be interesting to see who they decide should take his place.
I'm surprised that after all that sports action, you haven't said one thing about eating yet.
Oh, I'm ready, and I've got a great place lined up for us too. We're going to enjoy some barbecue next when we come back with more Explore Tulsa.
Hi, Dr. Robert Zellner here. For over 20 years, I've offered affordable, convenient eye care in Tulsa. Right now, you can get one pair of glasses or contact lenses starting at just $99 or my two-pair deal for $129. Hey, and as always, the eye exam's included. Walk-ins are always welcome. Glasses are ready in about an hour. Plus, we have over 2,000 frames to choose from. We're open 7 days a week. Come see why we're voted Tulsa's best. And our drive-thru at 69th and Memorial makes pickup simple and easy. For the best eye care value in Tulsa, Dr. Robert Zellner and Associates.
If you're in the mood for some good eats, then we have a great meals all set for you on Explore Tulsa.
Yes, we do, Stevie, as we stop in at Albert G's brand new location downtown at 1st and Elgin.
I went to a place called Max Barbecue in Skytook, Oklahoma, and I had been in the restaurant business for a long time through high school, college, out of school, and just got on this barbecue kick and said, "Hey, let's start throwing some meat on the smoker," and just kind of got into it after visiting Max in Skytook. That was kind of my inspiration. Yeah, I'm Chuck Gowie, and I'm the owner-operator of Albert G's Barbecue. Been in business at 28th and Harvard for 21 and a half years, and after all that time, decided I needed another challenge. You know, we were approached as far as opening a second location, and we decided to do this deal about 2.5 years ago. It took a little longer to get this building ready than we thought, but it's worked out, and business is great. It's a much different operation than 28th and Harvard. We have the full bar. We have 20 beers on tap. We have all kinds of appetizers. We have killer chicken wings. Obviously, with this kind of operation, a full service operation, we've had a lot more employees to hire and train, and that's probably been the biggest challenge. But I've got a great crew, great managers, great staff, and even though I'm still very, very hands-on, I've had to kind of let go of some things, and it's very hard. but I think we're putting out a pretty good product now, but every day is a challenge. Well, I wanted it to be a place where I would want to come hang out. You know, with some good barbecue, some cold beer, and lots of TVs. Just a place that I'd want to come hang out. Real comfortable, great service, and great food. We have lots of great appetizers. Our chicken wings, we smoke them, then we flash fry them. We have our nachos, our pulled pork or brisket nachos. We have our French fries that we have this brown gravy with the chopped brisket in it, just drenched over the French fries. You know, we make all of our side dishes here every day. We have 2 smokers in the back, just kind of going 24/7. Man, we make our tabbouleh every day, and you know, the smoked turkey breast is really good, but I still sneak in some ribs and brisket. I mean, those are, and the pulled pork. You can't go wrong with any of that. We came up with our rub, our seasoning. We came up with our sauce, and after that, it was just a matter of just doing it. You know, with the barbecue, you always feel like you can do it better. And so there's always the challenge of cranking out some better brisket or better ribs. having been born and raised here and seeing downtown kind of evolve like it has, with being in the Blue Dome district next door to McNally's, watching Elliot open all his things and just seeing, and then the Brady Arts District, and seeing all the people that come down here. 10 years ago, it wasn't really like that. To see people come here at night, obviously you're going to have a lunch crowd, but I think it's great, and we're pumped to be in the Blue Dome district. Number one, I feel extremely fortunate to have been successful in this business for so long, and to have this opportunity to come downtown. I was happy with just running the little gas station. And so, it means a lot to have this opportunity, and just to, it's just a big challenge.
After all the holiday parties, I thought I'd be so tired of eating turkey. But that wasn't until Chuck brought out some of his smoked turkey with a little of Albert G's famous barbecue sauce.
I'm just so glad that you guys finally saved me some.
Yeah, that's what I did. I saved you some. I just hope nobody got into the break room to get it.
Well, at least you guys don't have to worry about Stevie getting your share. Visit albertgsdowntown.com to learn more.
And we'll be right back after Trish looks for her barbecue next with more Explore Tulsa.
At Video Revolution,
we've got today's 3D technology,
smart TVs, and I can help you pick the one that's a larger size TV.
We handle it all here at Video Revolution.
Now people can get
a 90-inch TV,
locally owned and operated.
Now coming up on a 30-year anniversary.
Customer service is our priority.
We have our own service center. It just brings back enjoyment to watching TV.
And now it's affordable for everybody.
And we sell fun stuff.
It's like toys for big kids. Customers that come into Video Revolution are blown away.
Be sure and stop in next week when we take a little peek at some of the top high school basketball teams in T-Town.
We want to thank John Erling for all the great moments he shared with us, from his interview with John Williams and the others you'll find on Voices of Oklahoma.
Thanks, too, to TU head coach Danny Manning. Good luck this season. And remember, I still have a couple of years of eligibility left. And to Explore Tulsa's Joe Moore and Stevie 3 for providing us with all those great high school memories from 2013.
Plus, thanks to Chuck and all the folks at Albert G's for showing us around their new restaurant downtown.
Remember, if you miss any of the show, you can always catch us at exploretulsa.com.
As always, each week we feature the people, places, and attractions that make us proud to call Tulsa our home.
Hey, don't forget to like us on Facebook. Share it with us someone you think Tulsa should know more about.
Plus, remember, Explore Tulsa is brought to you by Video Revolution, located on the northwest corner of 71st and Lewis.
Stop by, say hello to Ron and all the guys for your home entertainment needs.
And we welcome Explore Tulsa's newest title sponsor, Dr. Robert Zollner and Associates.
Home of the two-pair for $99 deal with 2 locations, 3030 South Harvard and 69th and Memorial.
Well, that's all the time we have for you on this week's show, but we'll see you next week right here on Explore Tulsa.